So last night I posted a piece kind of detailing a few of the shenanigans I've gotten up to since I graduated high school, and it's called Davlin Stewart Professional Vagabond. And I got a reply from it from Crochet Guevara, and she wrote, "I don't remember if you've posted it before, but can you please post the story of you quitting, please?" And I didn't really feel like writing it, so I figured I'd just make a video. The company Blockbuster has played a very important part of my late teens to early 20s. And I started working for them the first time when I was 18, and it was in November 2003. And it was in the distribution center in McKinney, Texas, which was basically a factory job. And this was back before, when you went into Blockbuster, before every movie had their own cover. This was whenever Blockbuster had their own cover for every movie. So basically what my job was is I worked 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., 12-hour shifts, and standing up on a concrete floor the entire time. And we would get our orders, and then there was this big box filled with 100 empty DVD cases. And then we would get a bunch of DVDs in a spindle, and would take the empty DVD case, take the insert, put it inside, take the movie, put it in the case, close it, and repeat until the order is done. Repeat for 12 fucking hours. It was brutal. And like I said, I started working there in November. So when winter hit, it got really cold because there was just no way to keep it heated because of all the trucks coming in and whatnot. And summer was the exact opposite. It was just brutal conditions. And over the 12-hour shift, we got 3 breaks, 2 15-minute breaks, and then we got a 30-minute lunch. So for 11 hours, you're just standing there. And they would walk the aisles to make sure that we weren't talking to each other because we couldn't do anything to sway us from productivity. And one of the big wigs in corporate would come down every night, and he would walk down the aisle, and he would ask us how we're doing, which sounds really sweet, but he wouldn't even let you finish. He'd be like, "Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing?" Before you could even respond. And after about 6 months of that, I got really pissed off because he didn't care. He was just trying to keep up appearances. So one time, he came up, and he goes, "Hey, how you?" And I cut him off. I go, "Sir, I hate my fucking life. I am really thinking about killing myself tomorrow." And I just never broke eye contact, was completely straight-faced. And he got all flustered, and he's like, "Oh, good luck with that, bye-bye." And he just kept walking. And after about 9 months of this, I had enough. So it was 30 minutes into my shift. And you ever have one of those moments where you think back on the day before and the month and the year, and you realize, what the fuck am I doing with my life? This is just stupid. Like, no one should have to be subjected to this ever. Well, I had one of those. And I didn't want to be there. I was over it. I was exhausted. Like, it was breaking my body down. Just soul-crushing labor. And 30 minutes into my shift, I whispered very quietly to myself, I go, "I quit." And it felt fucking good, so I said it louder. And it felt even better. So I just kept saying it, "I quit. I quit," until I'm screaming at the top of my lungs, "I quit! I quit! I quit!" And it just kept feeling so good, I didn't want to stop saying it. And I was so wrapped up in my jubilation that I didn't see out of the corner of my eye 2 security guards coming my way. And I weigh 135, so it doesn't take much to get me out of anywhere. And they grabbed me by each arm and dragged me out of the building in front of all my coworkers. And the entire time, I'm just screaming, "I quit! I quit!" And next thing I know, I'm outside and I don't work there anymore. It's fantastic. And I had to go back a week or so later to pick up my last check. And I spent like 15 minutes trying to get the security guard to give me a copy of that footage because I wanted it so bad, but he wouldn't. And ever since then, I've checked YouTube pretty periodically to make sure I don't end up on there. Again, have it. But the funny little PS to the story is I ended up working for a Blockbuster store, and the only reason they hired me was because I worked at the distribution center, so they figured I had experience. They didn't bother to check the references. And I was working in a store about 30 minutes away from the distribution center, and one of the coworkers that was on that shift came in, and she said that they still talk about the day that the scrawny white boy snapped and got dragged out, and sometimes that's all that got them through their shifts. So there you go, that's my I quit story. If you want clarification on anything else I've ever written, if you want to know anything at all, just ask. Alright, thanks for listening.